I guess first of all, how are you doing?
Good.
Okay, that's good. And would you say, I'm just going to open the first with a broad question, would you say that music plays a large role in your life? Or is it a more tertiary role where it's on the side? How would you characterize that?
I would say somewhere in the middle. I used to be a lot more involved with music than I am now, so it's kind of, but I still really enjoy listening to music. I still play my instrument every so often, but just not as much as I used to.
Okay, so you just referenced that you played an instrument. Tell me more about that. What instruments do you play? When did you start learning them?
So I started learning clarinet in the 6th grade. I played that through my senior year of high school. And in my sophomore year of high school, I also picked up tenor sax and alto sax. So I played a few wind instruments, reed instruments.
Okay, so in your sophomore year of high school, when you're playing all those instruments, was that would you say, your peak of musical participation? Were you focused most on music at that time?
Yeah, probably, because at that point I was in marching band, jazz band, concert band. I was in the Fiddler on the Roof production that we had on stage, but I was playing clarinet on stage because there's a lot of clarinet solos throughout that musical, So that was another fun thing that I did. I was also in pep band for the basketball games. So I did a lot with that, especially in high school. I started marching band though when I was in 8th grade on the clarinet. And my last 2 years of high school, I was section leader actually for the clarinet section of the marching band. So I did a lot with that too. But yeah, that was I would definitely say that was my peak, playing tenor and jazz band. Alto when we needed it, we were a small ensemble, so and then clarinet was pretty much everything I picked up at some point. In my senior year, everyone was allowed to pick their own song, or you had to share a song with someone depending on which ensemble you picked to play it, because there's too many people in like concert band,
Mm-hmm.
So what I did is I picked a song in jazz band to play on my clarinet. I did a solo of Summertime is the song that I chose, which I really enjoyed. I got to stretch my range a little bit there with some really high notes on the clarinet, but it was fun to do. It was cool. It was just me and a piano. Everyone else got to take a break.
Okay, now do you still play any clarinet or anything? You play anything at all casually or?
I pick it up sometimes just for fun, But other than that, I don't play any groups or anything at this
still
point.
There, your ability to play.
Yeah, I feel like it's something you don't really lose necessarily,
Yeah. Let's see. So, what is your favorite genre of music to listen to?
I have a really eclectic taste in music, so I can never really say. There are some days where I'm really into a more indie rock kind of scene. I listen to like the Silver Jews, Pavement. They're pretty good. Some days I really like classical jazz, like more of the like I said, Summertime is a really good song. I really like that era of music. But then other days, I pretty much never listen to super pop stuff. Is pretty much my only exclusion, and country. I never listen to a lot of country. But other than that, anything's fair game. Like I love classic rock. I love it's all really good. My Spotify playlist, all of my liked songs, I know every lyric to all of them, and because I just listen to them so much, and it's all very different vibes. You can kind of tell scrolling through because it orders them by when you added it to your liked playlist. You can tell what kind of mood I was in that week.
So that actually leads well into my next question. Do you sing along to music when you're in the car?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And okay, well I guess that just answers it.
Yeah, no, I sing along. Well, that's another thing actually. In 8th grade I was in chorus as well. I also took I was on a cappella in high school for a little while, which we barely had any performances. I think is why I forget it. And then I had a music teacher for a little while. She happened to work for, a vocal coach. She happened to work for my family's company. She was a receptionist there, and she was like, yeah, I'll come over and teach you guys stuff. She also taught my little sister piano. But yeah, I don't consider myself to be a great singer necessarily, but I really enjoy singing. And I think one thing that really does kind of dictate what kind of music I listen to sometimes too is if I like singing that song, because I enjoy singing along to it. So
that's definitely true. Let's see. So, what's your earliest music memory, or what comes to mind when I ask that? Is there a specific moment?
There's a couple that come to mind. I don't know which happened first. I remember my dad, he started helping me learn how to play guitar. My dad can play a few instruments, none of them fluently, but, well, one of them. He played saxophone as a kid. He didn't give me his saxophone or anything. Yeah, I didn't really even know he played it, but he did. And then he also plays guitar. He plays some, like, mandolin and random stringed instruments, a little bit of piano. So he taught me how to play guitar for a little while. I cannot play it well at all. I remember maybe a few chords, like I can't really play it, but yeah, that was probably my earliest, I think. But another one that comes to mind is in elementary school. Of course, you are usually taught how to play a recorder at some point.
Right.
And then I had a music teacher who moved into my elementary school system, and he decided that he wanted students to play string instruments. And you could opt in or out of it, but I wanted to do something more with music at that point than just like chorus that you also were required to be in at my elementary school. But I did think it was really, really weird because the middle and high school did not have any string instruments. They did not have like a symphony or anything. They just had concert band, So yeah, I learned violin for a year and then never touched it again, pretty much. So that was definitely one of my earlier experiences.
So do you think the fact that the middle school and high school didn't have a string ensemble, do you think you might have pursued strings had there been?
I think so. I think violin is a very beautiful instrument. I really love the way it sounds. I love how it can be incorporated in different things and how it can create a variety of emotions, if that makes sense. It kind of, it can, I don't know, it can be really peppy and upbeat and kind of like a jig, or it can be very somber and slow, or anything in between. So I really do like a violin. I wish that my school did have it. I probably would have pursued it more. But that's okay. I really enjoy clarinet too.
Yeah. Okay, what are your thoughts on live music? Do you find concert going to be an experience that you seek out as much as possible? Is it like, I'll go to a concert on occasion, or is it something that you don't really care about at all?
I like live music, but I definitely don't really seek out concerts necessarily. I think it might have something to do with the social aspect of it more than anything. I enjoy music, but I don't really feel like I need to be in a crowded space with a bunch of other people just to enjoy music. Because I can enjoy music on my phone just as well, or on the TV or whatever. But yeah, so I do go to some things. I'm planning to go to the Folk Music Festival this weekend because that sounds like it'll be a lot of fun. I'm hoping to go up to Dollywood at some point, which they have a lot of, I know that's so far to go. I mainly just want to go to Dollywood. I like coasters and stuff too, but they have a lot of really impressive performances as well, right? They have to be if it's Dolly Parton's, amusement park. But, so I do like performances, but I have to say, I tend to like to go to more theatrical performances versus musical performances. Although, with that said, I do really like musicals, like theater and music combined. One of my favorite things I've ever gone to see was Phantom of the Opera on Broadway. I really loved that. The first, organ, thing that came through when they were raising the chandelier to the ceiling, I nearly cried. It was, beautiful. I love that.
What are some other favorite musicals of yours?
Oh, well, I really like Fiddler on the Roof. I was in that one, so I kind of have to like that one. But I do. That one was really fun to play, too. I really loved playing the solos on my clarinet with that one. And Phantom of the Opera, I think, is probably my favorite one. I've enjoyed that one for a really long time. I haven't seen Wicked yet, so I can't say if I like that one or not. I like Hairspray. I like a lot of those. I like, Little Shop of Horrors. That was put on as a musical at my high school, and that was really good. Enjoyed that very much. But yeah, no, I like seeing those kind of things though. It's really good.
Have you ever considered joining the theatrical production at this university?
No, not really. I think the main problem is I've been out of it for a little while. I was only in a couple of productions myself. So it's not like I have a ton of prior experience. And it's kind of unfortunate because I think one of the reasons I've kind of dropped music at this point for the most part when it comes to performing or playing or what have you is just because I don't have the time. Like, I'm studying classical civilizations with a triple minor here, so I don't, and since none of those are music, I just don't really have a reason to incorporate it quite so much. But yeah, and also there's another layer to that. I'm a commuter student. I drive 25 minutes to school, so to have to come back like later in the day for a practice or something isn't really practical for me.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm surprised. I mean, so is this class, this anthropology of music class, is that filled in with one of those minors, or?
It does, yeah. I have I've had minors in history, archaeology, and anthropology, so it falls into that anthropology minor.
So is this like the first music class you've taken here?
Yeah, I guess so. The first one here. Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Okay, so I guess going forward, I guess not while you're here, but after you graduate, do you expect your relationship with music to increase, decrease, stay the same? What do you expect to happen going forward?
I expect it to probably stay about the same. I know that I have a very close friend right now who's going into teaching music, so maybe there'll be something there where I'm, communicating with her more, and maybe she'll want me to come in at some point because we play different instruments, But other than that, I don't think that I'll really see my relationship with music changing much.
Do you listen to music when you're doing your work for your other minors, or is it I gotta focus, I can't be listening to music? Or is there specific music maybe that works
liminal music, like that kind of very, I think it's there, but it's not. I usually can't have anything with too many lyrics because a lot of my minors obviously are very reading heavy, so when I hear lyrics and I'm trying to process lyrics, it doesn't work out. But instrumental stuff, very soft classical stuff, not like the big pompous kind, that's a little too much, but I like the kind of soft classical, very liminal is good too. That kind of stuff is nice. I do lo-fi kind of. I'll listen to that. Yeah, exactly.
All right.